gentlemen, please give it up for your own Jonnie Corbett.
Oh, that's better, isn't it? Look, I'm really sorry about this. I've got this Polish sound guy, and I've also got a check 1 2. Check 1 2. Sorry about that. I had to get. That's my favourite joke. I had to get. I'm not doing these jokes for you. These are just my favourite jokes that I'm doing. So, anyway, thank you so much for inviting me back once again to this year's Harvest Festival. And as usual, the tickets sold out faster than Glastonbury Festival. Has anyone been to Glastonbury Festival recently? No one here. Oh, right. Well, I can remember the last time I went, and it was a few years ago, and I jumped the fence, but I got caught by security, and they dragged me back in there, and I had to watch the rest of the Coldplay set. Anyway, you have to, no, I have to apologise. I think my voice is going. I could do with it. If anyone's going to the bar, just get me a small beer or something. My voice is going. But anyway, sorry, I haven't been very well just recently. I accidentally took the cat's frontline flea drops instead of my vitamins. Don't ask me how. Mind you, I haven't caught fleas since. Yeah. Now, to be honest, I don't actually go out much these days, and when I do occasionally go into Swanage, there's only 3 shops that I actually need. And it's only I go to the opticians, I go to Boots, and I go to Greggs. That's the only 3 places I go. So now my life is simply specs and drugs and sausage rolls. It's very good indeed. Right, now I'm 65, that's it. Anyway, whilst I was in Swanage, I was looking for a pair of camouflage trousers. Couldn't seem to find anyone anywhere. It was like, And then sorry for my voice, it's a bit croaky. So I went to look for some shoes, and I found the ones I liked, but they were a little bit on the tight side. So I called the shop assistant over. I said, look, these are perfect, but they're a little bit tight. Oh, my goodness. Oh, look, there is a God. Thank you so much. Oh, dear. Oh, God, I feel absolutely perfect now. Yeah. Anyway, back. So, I was trying on these shoes. They're a little bit tight. Called the shop assistant over and said, they're absolutely perfect. A little bit on the tight side. She said, try them with the tongue out. So I said, they're still a bit tight. Never mind. Anyway, I had an appointment this... Come on. Actually, that was Neil's joke. Where's Neil? Thank you. Yeah, I can see him now. Yeah. Anyway, I had an appointment with my psychiatrist again. Sorry. I've been working through some issues, mostly around my height, obviously, because it's not easy being short of money. Now, anyway, she diagnosed me with a chronic fear of giants. It's called fee-fi-phobia. Well, I liked it. I thought I'd got a better laugh, but no, that's just my... Anyway, so tonight I'm going to tell you the joke about the ice fisherman. But first, I've got some important public announcements to make. And The search for the man who terrorises nudists on Studland Beach continues. He's been chasing him around with a bacon slicer. Our community liaison officer had a tip-off this morning. But hopes to be back at work next week. Anyway, also in local news, the new toilets at Middle Beach Cafe unfortunately been vandalised. Very sad state of affairs. A spokesman for the National Trust say they've got nothing to go on. And the Network Rail Tennis Championships this week. A Bournemouth train driver was forced to retire from the mixed doubles after a low ball in the southern region left his services severely disrupted. They're not going to get any better, just like I promise you. Oh dear me. Normally I don't drink, but I just gave up this year. Anyway, I had quite a troubled childhood, actually. It's probably self-evident. My father and I would go out and set fire to things. And one day I said to him, "Dad, are we pyromaniacs?" And he said, "Yes, we are, son." Sorry. And I've heard them before. They're better. It's my dad that suggested I register for a donor card. Now, he's a man after my own heart. Mind you, to be honest, I wasn't that close to my father when he died, which was just as well because he stood on a landmine. No, that's not true. That's absolutely not true. He actually died peacefully in his sleep, unlike his passengers shouting and screaming in the bus. So I need a drink. Oh dear. When I was younger, I always wanted to do something amazing. Now I'm sitting here talking to you lot, I realise I really should have been more specific. I remember my mother, she said I could be anything I wanted to be. Turns out now I'm older, PC 4587 informs me this is called identity theft. Anyway, I got home last night, my wife said, "Are you okay? I heard on the local radio that a car was driving the wrong way up the Upton bypass." I said, "One car?" It was like there was hundreds of them. Thank you, Mark. So I'm doing a bit of recycling here. Anyway, it was my wife's birthday the other day, and I asked her what she wanted, and she just take me somewhere expensive. So I took her to National Trust car park. And I went up to the new Middle Beach Cafe. Not as good as the old one. Not a touch, but anyway. I do miss that one. But anyway, what's it called? A salty pig or something? Anyway, ordered a couple of bottles of water. Well, it was a birthday after all, you know. I thought I'd treat her, yeah. So, and the lady behind the counter, she said, "Still water?" I said, "Yes, I haven't changed my mind." Well, to be honest, after that, my wife decided to leave me. I say she left me, it was a mutual decision. She realised some months before. I realised when she left me. And I've got this thing on my arm now to tell me how my heart's doing. And it's still broken. Anyway, please don't patronise me. I'm honestly really happy. And she had a twin as well. And people used to ask me how I could tell them apart. I said, well, you had to look really carefully, because Rachel, she used to paint her nails purple and put little sprinkly bits on them. And Bob, he had a cock. That's going to get me banned, isn't it? Oh dear. Okay, right. I'm not going to get invited next year, am I? Anyway. And of course, we have a new vicar in the village. Yeah, whom we all warmly welcome. And Tony too, as he's affectionately known. And he's increasing the range of services we have in the village, which I think is good. Because now they're going to start to offer exorcisms. Sort of under the counter, well, under the font, actually, to be more specific, yeah. And I only realised when I thought, right, I need to do something about my own demons. So I went to go and see new Tony, and he explained the procedure. He said mostly involving garlic, like a silver cross, and like head spins around a few times. But apparently, an exorcism is a costly procedure, so they offer really good credit terms. But of course, if you actually pay them back, you will get repossessed. Oh dear. So I'm guessing you've all noticed a number of celebrities in the village. Have you? Or was it just me? I even saw one of the locals on the front page of the Echo. Mind you, that is fake news. I mean, you can hardly pop into Studland stores without bumping into, Tom Cruise or Nicole Kidman. Yeah. And I don't think it's a conspiracy, but I do think they're taking over. Have we got any celebrities? I mean, apart from myself, obviously. I haven't quite made the A-list, but working on it. I'm not sure whether Studland's more like Stella Street, Royston Vasey, or Celebrity Big Brother. Don't start me on Big Brother, mind, because I've got to get the tinfoil hat out with the government barcode on the front. Yeah. Now, some of my friends have actually been telling me that my conspiracy theory obsession is getting a little bit out of control. And I'm just wondering how much MI5 paid them to say that, to be honest. Anyway, conspiracy jokes. So, what's the difference between a conspiracy theory and a conspiracy? It's about 6 months these days. It's going down to about 1 month, actually. And the other day, I saw 3 conspiracy theorists walked into the Old Harry Bar. Now, you can't tell me that's a coincidence. And always at the harvest supper, we're reminded that the evenings are getting darker and the clocks are going to be going back soon. And this year, apparently, the clocks are going back to 1984. I always thought that George Orwell wrote this book as a warning for humanity. But Comrade Starmer thinks it's a government instruction manual. Bless him. And has anyone heard about this wonderful comet that's buzzing in at the moment called 3I Atlas? Which, they say it's a comet, but apparently astrophysicists are now speculating it might be some kind of alien probe. The last time I experienced one of those, it made my eyes water. But it's okay, it's nothing to worry about. It's just the Galactic Federation mothership doing a flyby to collapse the Matrix. So as Cypher said in the Matrix, buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy, because Kansas is going bye-bye. So that's enough of the conspiracy, Joe. Anyway, back to the joke about the ice fisherman, because this is one of my favourites. This is. So there's an ice fisherman, walks out onto the ice, and he sits down with his little stool, and he's got his line, and he's got his saw, and he goes out onto the ice, and he's just about to start. He's just starting to make this little hole in the ice, and he hears this big voice saying, "There are no fish under the ice." And he's sort of looking around. What? So anyway, he thought, well, okay, it's good advice. Perhaps go somewhere else. So he moves his little stool. He's got his saw, and so he sort of goes up to the next little bit, and he just sits down, starts sawing again, and hears this big voice saying, "There are no fish under the ice." So he thought, right, I'll give it one last time. So last time he sits down and he's sawing away, and then he hears it again. "There are no fish under the ice." And he said, "God, is that you?" He said, "No, this is the ice rink manager." Anyway, thank you very much. Right. Do stick around, because next up tonight we have an out-of-work contortionist who says she can no longer make ends meet. So it's good night from me, and it's good night from him. Good night. Thank you.
I mean, once again, John has outdone himself. Fantastic repeat performance, and hopefully he'll come back next year if you give him an extra loud applause. Round of applause to John.